everyone. Welcome to another episode of Always Open. I'm your host, Barbara Dunkelman, and today I'm joined by two wonderful guests. We've got
Nwadiwe
and
Fiona Nova.
I like how you both said that in different accents.
Well, you did say that this was the show.
Yeah, you told us before we went
Okay,
live.
now what's your next one?
Yeah, every time you speak, it's a different accent.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sacre bleu.
Okay, that was terrible.
That's
And
just
then,
okay.
French.
I can't do a lot of accents, but I could do Bart Simpson's voice.
Oh,
I have to hear that.
Okay, wait.
I'm gonna close my eyes to
Hold on a
really
second.
immerse myself.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. What does he say? Hold on. Oh no, I got it. Eat my shorts.
Oh,
Eat my
wow.
shorts.
Yeah, that's solid.
Homer.
Say, don't have a cow, man.
Don't have a cow, man.
Dude, I'm like
Cowabunga,
legit blown away
dude.
by that. That's
Yeah, that
so
was
good.
that's
I could do
good.
every little boy voice. Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I am a little boy.
Yeah.
I do a Ralph Wiggum.
Ooh, good. Here we go.
I ate the purple berries.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
It tastes like burning.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Now you.
Oh, yeah, I do Exhibit. Hey, yeah, this is Exhibit. We're going to pimp your ride. Yeah, you got a 9-to-5 job where you work at a Kinko's. Well, I'm going to put a DVD player in your steering wheel, all right? We're going to raise the value of your car so it gets stolen within a week, baby.
We're gonna get copyrighted claim for
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
That was just his voice. That was just you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Crazy.
incredible. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
I don't get to see you guys often anymore.
I know.
Fiona obviously lives
Ran away.
in LA now, and if you've always lived in
Yeah,
LA
yeah.
as long as I've known you.
But
Yeah.
usually I visit more, but when I'm in a writer's room, I can't really leave for
Yeah.
long periods of time. So as soon as I'm done, I always run back to Austin.
I have depression, so
Oh,
we love to see it.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
yeah.
That's great.
I'm glad you made it out
I'm
here.
medicated.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yay! Medication and therapy.
And therapy.
Yes. Well, I would love to take some time to catch up with you guys and,
Yeah.
and see what's going on in your life. Iffy, what's new? What are you working on these days?
Oh man, well, right now, just chilling. Grand Cruise season 2 is coming out March 3rd, whichever the Friday is, first Friday in March. We're gonna be up there right after Lopez v. Lopez, so definitely check that out. Always I'm gonna be on the Joko cruise, so if you want to be on a boat doing nerdy stuff with me, check me out
boat?
Doing
Yeah.
nerdy,
Nerdy
stuff.
stuff.
with
there. Yeah, and
What's
then
this?
Joko cruise.
You're like you said
You're
it
just-
again as if I know. I
you. It's like
is that?
when someone
Well,
wants a definition of
All
something.
right,
you
honestly,
just
Yeah,
use
yeah.
a definition to
That's-
explain
Joko
it.
cruise.
Yeah, that's the number one
what do you
sign.
mean?
That's the number one sign that the person also doesn't know is they just
Oh,
repeat
okay,
the
got it.
title
Okay,
again.
got it. I guess you don't know either.
I
That's
just know
fine.
it's a cruise where a bunch of nerdy stuff, music, comedy happens. I'm gonna be doing some improv.
D&D?
Yeah, D&D is
Okay.
gonna be going. People
It's a
gonna be rolling
cruise?
dice. Yeah, it's a cruise
For like how long?
a week.
Okay, can we make let's figure out
Mm-hmm.
how much people are gonna have sex on that cruise.
Oh, well,
Oh.
see, I was of the mind that I'm like, oh, it's gonna be freaky, but then like it's also like there's a family element too, like people can bring their kids and there's gonna be teenagers.
Dude, the last time I was on a Disney cruise twice.
Oh,
And there's
I
a lot
don't
of
think
sex on
I've-
there?
I don't think I've had more sex than on a Disney cruise. When I'm in
Oh.
like one of those teen clubs,
oh yeah.
I'm like 14.
You're like
I'm
our
having
parents.
so much sex
Our
on this
parents,
cruise.
our parents are drunk in the hot tub.
Dude,
Let's go.
Literally
There's
just
no-
just girls.
Just
I mean,
That's
that's-
it.
who are just
That's it.
exploring who
We're
they
just-
are.
and we're
yeah.
just
They're like that is where my daughter was conceived, was on
On
a
a
cruise.
cruise.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
so
like
much sex.
Well, I know
can't
I know the
imagine.
exact.
I can't imagine.
I also don't know if you're being serious
I'm
or not.
serious. The cruise. I'm stuck on a boat for how many
Yeah.
days? And I'm in a teen club, like
Yeah.
with like
Yeah, yeah.
other girls, and they're cute.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Of course.
I
I'm
knew
gonna-
they were up to no good because when I bumped into the teen club, like the teens just look at you like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Y'all up to no good. If y'all don't want anybody else here,
Yeah.
what you need privacy for?"
You know, my first kiss was on a cruise.
Really?
Guys,
Yep.
again, you guys are keep proving my
Yep.
point. Yeah.
We got a lot of people
Proving my
watching,
point.
signing up for cruises.
We're
right
gonna get
now.
a lot of people. No, they had the same experience.
So
the
Joko
cruise.
cruise.
Joko cruise.
Is it something that like anybody could buy tickets for this thing?
Yeah, yeah. Anyone can buy tickets. It's going out of Fort Lauderdale, so you're gonna have to get out there. But yeah, it'll
have
be
to go
a
to
week.
Florida, I'm
Go
so
through
sorry.
the Caribbean. You can pop out. do your thing. There's going to be a whole bunch of excursions and stuff, but also a
Wow.
bunch of activities like on
Sex.
sex definitely.
main
There's
one.
going to be an escape room on the boat.
Escape room on these. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
so-
pretty
That's cool. And you
Yeah.
can have sex in there.
yeah. I don't think you have sex in this.
If you don't escape, you get dropped into the
Yeah,
ocean.
yeah, exactly.
Ocean and die. You gotta swim back to the
Yeah,
shore. That's a great cruise.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds awesome though. So you're performing on there and doing some stand up.
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing some improv. It'll be a good time. But yeah, outside of that, I think the last time I was doing Rooster Teeth stuff, I was single, and I'm in a relationship. It's been great. We're just peas in a pod. And
I feel like
so
I
many
know
ways.
so much about your partner because I see them on Be Real every
Oh,
time
yeah.
you post.
Yeah, it was. We're on Be Real. I drug her out to the slopes with me. Now she's in the snow, but now, yeah, she's just kind of chilling at the crib.
Wow.
Mhm.
And then
Wow.
we're gonna go on the Joko cruise. She's coming with me, and so yeah, getting
Yeah.
ready for Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's cute.
Is this gonna be your
Yeah.
first Valentine's Day together?
Yeah.
Ooh, what you gonna do?
Oh well, it's so funny because of course I booked a gig where I'm flying somewhere, so I am flying her with me, and I got dinner reservations in the city that we'll be in.
Oh,
so,
cute.
Oh, that's very sweet.
yeah.
That's super
I
cute.
should also mention we're filming this in early February.
Oh, when is
Yeah.
this gonna come out?
This comes out in sometime
like
in March.
March, yeah.
Wait, I mean, then the Joko cruise might have already been.
Oh.
You can get tickets.
Don't get the tickets.
You might not be able, but Grand Cruise is definitely still coming on Fridays. Go watch that.
Whenever I'm recording something before something happens, I'm always like, I hope something super tragic doesn't happen
know.
on this thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because we
Um,
don't know what might happen on this cruise.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
joking
be on the
about it,
Joko
but-
cruise literally the first week of March.
All right.
So,
Well, how was it?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Or share my memory.
Right.
Share
We
your
don't know
favorite
what's
iffy
gonna happen.
moments.
Yeah. Just
Ever since he was lost at sea, definitely.
Just footage of us making jokes
yeah.
about the cruise.
Yeah.
Somehow this
Yeah.
podcast is just like every part of you is cut out. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
me and Fiona.
Yeah.
reacting.
We keep talking about a cruise, the Joko cruise that we have absolutely no idea
Yeah.
what it is.
It's just like, who are they talking with?
Oh man, that's good. That's good.
March 14th.
March
Okay, so the
14th. Okay.
Joko cruise is definitely over. It
Yeah.
was last week. You missed it. But if you did go, it was fun seeing you. Maybe.
Yeah. That one guy, you were
Yeah,
pretty
You
cool.
were pretty cool.
Well, I saw
Yeah.
someone tag me in a TikTok making a resin dice, and I was like, hopefully I can get this to Iffy on the cruise. I'm like, oh no, those dice look cool. I'm gonna find you. Like you're gonna be eating dinner, and you're gonna feel a tap on your shoulder. Like, where them dice at? They look
Give it
good.
to me.
I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah.
Or awful. Who knows?
Yeah.
Cruises
One
are
of the
fun.
two.
They're fun.
Flip
Yeah.
a coin.
Flip a coin.
Yeah, I mean, it can be bad. Like the one cruise where the whole the sewage system messed up
Mm-hmm.
and shit
heard
overflowed
about that.
everywhere.
When did
yeah.
that happen?
I don't know.
Did I ever? I don't
It
know
was
if
a
I've ever
while
told
ago.
you. That happened at my high school.
Wait, the
Sorry, my elementary school. The sewage system burst,
Ooh.
and the pipes are in the cafeteria,
Yeah.
and it was during lunch.
oh
So
no.
a bunch of piss and shit like flooded the cafeteria, and there were kids like vomiting and like
Oh.
running out the door. And I'm like, what's going on? Why does it smell weird?
Oh no! I'm glad it's early enough to block that memory out. Like if you want, you
You
can
don't
really
have it. You don't have a
suppress that.
super clear.
Yeah, you can
memory of
suppress
it.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
There's probably more
Yeah.
details that you might not even you blocked
Yeah,
it
you
out.
can
It's-
blocked it
yeah,
out.
very
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
Someone
for
might have
sure.
slipped and fell into
Exactly.
there.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
A best friend you've forgotten about drowned in it.
Yeah. Drowned in the
Well,
sewage.
how did you meet? What was your? Are you comfortable saying her name?
Oh yeah, Emily.
And how'd you
yeah.
guys meet?
We met because we had a lot of mutual friends, and when I was in Europe, I was in my post breakup slut tour in Europe.
Oh yeah.
That's when I couldn't stand you.
Oh boy,
That's when?
I was
well.
I was and shout out to everyone who gave me their heart. I truly appreciate you. I needed it more than anything.
Are you hold on, let's really make this clear. Are you apologizing to the girls that you
No, I'm thanking him. I'm
You're thanking and also well, you said I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. When did I say sorry?
Did you say I'm sorry to the girls?
No, I said
okay.
I'm thankful.
Okay.
Thankful. Yeah.
Yeah, they held me down.
And sometimes vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa.
Excellent.
But
yes.
while I was in London, I was like, hey, if anybody has any food suggestions, let me know. And she sent me some. And
was it just a picture of her ass?
No, even though that would have been a banger opening.
Great opening.
But I took it as like, okay, she might be feeling the kid. So then I started really interacting with her a lot more, as people do once they're like, oh, this is gonna be something. Then she like posted like champagne, but it was in this like really cute glass, and I was like, man, that's a cool glass. I hope to drink out of that someday. And she was like, okay.
Smooth.
She was like, let's
drink out of this glass that you posted someday.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that's absolutely blown away by this entire story? How did you get here?
Here's the thing: if someone is into you, they're willing to let a lot of like cheese slide.
So.
Yes,
you're
right.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
so we scheduled a date, and we went out, and it was like a week before the date. And because we talked about this a lot, because we're both just, we're very comfortable in our hodom, and we were like, at what point did it differentiate from like a hookup to like being serious? And it was like there was a week up until the date, and we started talking, and then it started to turn into this thing where it's like, oh, I really like this person.
Yeah.
Like, it's more than just like that.
Yeah.
So we went on a date and ended up hanging out for the next 3 days in a row, and then
that's when you know it's
oh yeah, when you don't
working
want
out.
Don't want to leave each other. Yeah, it was
not
great.
calling an Uber for the other person.
Yeah.
All right, well,
time to
I got a lot of stuff to do.
I'm waking up early
get ready.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah.
well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah. So it's been great. She's great.
Yeah, she's great.
I hope to meet her
Nice.
someday.
Yeah. I'm sure you will. Probably RTX.
Hell yeah.
If
Yeah,
not
sounds
before
awesome.
that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Miss Fiona,
Yeah.
what's been going on in your life?
Tell us about who stole your heart.
Well, also like Miss Big Director over here too, doing all sorts of stuff.
That definitely is something that I'm like so happy about.
Yeah.
Just like getting into like full-time directing. And
What have you
stuff.
been working on? Tell us some of your
Well,
projects.
I went to France for 3 weeks to shoot my short film that I kickstarted last year.
Which, by the way, I think could be the theme of a Hallmark movie. Yeah. Going to France and directing a movie there.
I'm French, and so it felt more of a. I forgot how it is to work with French people. Like there's definitely a difference in terms of like culture and how work is approached in different countries, which is weird.
Is it more like just blunt, straight to the point kind of?
Well, not really. Actually, the thing about French people is like they kind of don't like working. Like, or not that they don't like working, but like they actually enjoy. They don't like to be stressed,
Right.
which I appreciate, because like here there's a big grind culture, which I think is bad for like mental health and stuff. And it's always like, hey, what's the next thing? I have to constantly be grinding, which I can understand is so stressful, but that's how things are. Like, you can get shit done here.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
In France,
we I think live to work, and everywhere else they work to live.
Yeah.
Big difference.
And so just, growing up in America and doing that, the grind has always been there. And then going to France and then, being like making a movie there, I was like, it's things where it's like, guys, let's stop taking smoke breaks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Guys, let's not. There's a strike. There's always a strike. Like they do a lot of train strikes because they're unhappy with how things are working. But like because of that, it's like my train was canceled to go to because there's a strike that suddenly happened.
Because people just didn't want to work.
I'm sure it's deeper
than that.
But it's like there's always like a problem with work.
Yeah. Like,
and they're not accepting of anything if there's a little thing wrong, it strikes. It strikes. Which is
it's one of their, like, they're really strong about their labor. Like right now, there's
Yeah.
a current strike because they tried to change the retirement age. They bumped it up 2 years.
Yeah, and it's
they-
like one little
up.
Yeah.
and the thing is like, I know that's not little, and it can
Yeah.
be a lot bigger for other
Oh, yeah.
people. But like, it's like a little, like a thing that happens like that it's strike. It's like you're not getting anywhere. It's like a kind of a standstill.
Yeah.
So, that's a bit frustrating. And so, I mean, the movie came out amazingly. There was just a lot of roadblocks because it was like, okay, yeah, a lot, and we can't work for over like, they were very strict about we will not work over like 9 hours.
Yeah.
Which is like.
Here it's like 12 to 16.
Right. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I mean, that sucks because like, yeah, here it's 10, like I could do 10, 11 hours. And there it's like 9 hours and they start getting like, I don't want to be here.
I also love the idea of, because you're directing this.
Yes.
And usually when you direct, you have an assistant director, an AD,
yes.
who typically is the person who's like, all right, guys, we got to move along. Like, let's hurry
up. No, the ADs, they're kind of like,
but they're just
I got to take a break.
Yeah. I'm also on a smoke break.
Yeah, I'm going to take a break. He was great. I mean, my whole crew was amazing. It was definitely a challenge to direct because my DP was American. My whole entire crew was French.
Oh my God.
The actors were English from the UK. They didn't understand, the crew. I had to translate and also direct. So I was like, at the end of it, I was like speaking a new language of like, just like English, every single thing. I was like speaking to my I speak to my brother in both languages. But I was speaking to people who were like English and French, and they'd be like, I can't understand. I'm like, right, you don't understand that. And then I'm like, it was like a mess. Awesome though. It went perfect.
That's so wonderful. And then you've been doing some music videos as well.
Music videos, working with like production companies, music videos. So cool. I'm very happy to be doing that because that's like definitely a passion of mine. So.
Good. I'm so happy for you. Seeing you thrive just like fills my heart.
It's been a grind. Yeah. But let me tell you, my dating life, bro.
How's that going?
It sucks balls. Cheers to that.
Yeah. Right after Iffy just talked about this beautiful relationship he's
started. Oh, we love that for you. On Valentine's.
Yeah.
We love that.
Hey, it's only early February. You had some time.
No.
Well.
No, it's been definitely dating in LA is a thing that I didn't realize was a factor of like
in a bad way.
Yeah, it's a lot of I don't think I've ever. I feel like right now I'm dating. I haven't dated a lot when I was like younger, like in high school, and so now I'm navigating it, and I'm like learning more about it. I'm 26. I'm trying to figure it out.
It's a different breed because you have one, cities like LA, and I feel like LA is like the capital, like dating wise, for like narcissists.
Yeah.
New York is like pretense, like a lot of pretentious people, self-important in a way of like they in an intellectual way.
Yeah.
Where I feels like LA is a self-importance in a vain way.
Well, yeah, it feels like because growing up in New York, it felt like they were a lot more real with their emotion. I don't know, and just the way they are, it's like I know what I'm getting. Yeah. And I feel like they're more into commitment. Weirdly, in New York, in LA, it feels like I don't know what I want. I'm just,
kind
like,
of floaty.
I don't know. Yeah, very floaty. And it also, like, the narcissist.
Well, I remember years ago I had this guy from New York say, like, dating in New York, most times you're looking for someone to commit to a lease with. So you're, like, willing to, like, get it done. Whereas in LA...
This 300 square foot apartment, I really need someone to split the $4,000 rent with.
Yeah. Like, LA is a city where, like, the next day... your whole life can change.
Yeah.
And so people keep this flightiness because they're like, yeah, I could date you, but what if I pop off and I can date someone else?
Yeah.
Like
God, that's so stressful.
I've had a friend who was dating someone who broke up with them right when they got a big role.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was real.
Because they thought like I'm gonna go off.
Oh, they to their face was like I'm gonna pop off and I want to level up essentially.
Watching your closet grow after purchasing all of the season's latest trends? How about also watching your cashback grow with each purchase with Ibotta? You can earn cash back on every shopping trip. Ibotta gives you cash back on hundreds of grocery items from produce to personal care to pantry goods. Either link your loyalty account or upload your receipt after you shop and get your cash back. It's that easy. The average Ibotta user earns $120 per year in real cash back. That could cover the entire cost of a shopping trip. You can earn cash back on hundreds of online brands and retailers too when you start with Ibotta, including Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora's, Best Buy, and so much more. I am so pumped to use Ibotta. I do so many online shopping trips, and they have tons of stores that I'm so excited to shop at and get that cash back. It's super easy, and I just can't wait to do more online shopping. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code OPEN when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app and use the code OPEN. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store, and then use that code OPEN. Happy shopping!
Yeah. And that's like traumatizing. Like, yeah, it's kind of like it's been kind of that though. It's been like I don't really know what I want. So recently I was dating, and she was great. It was amazing, and I was like, oh my god, finally! Like, I've met someone. I'm like, I really like her, and I think I'm also very picky. So I'm
so
like,
if you really like someone,
so if I really like someone, you've got to be mine. Like, or else I'm like literally so picky.
Yeah, there's no discussion about it.
It worked out, and I was like, wow, okay, this is great. This feels really good. And this is something that I learned of, like, attachment styles is what I'm learning full on right now. And she had an avoidant attachment, which I realized because suddenly she pulls away. Like, all of a sudden, like, I like you so much, but I want to run away.
Because she liked you so much?
Yeah, or like, yeah, which is essentially what she said.
So it's essentially like I asking questions about this, basically, like, was it that she felt like she liked you too much and wasn't ready to really settle down with someone, so she wanted to, like, stop liking you?
I guess.
And
I mean,
progressing the relationship?
It's possible. What happened was, like, we were, like, super into each other. Everything was great. And then all of a sudden, hey, I like you so much, and I feel like you're, like, making me, like, there's something in my stomach telling me to, like, run away. Like, so, like, I can't be with you anymore. I was like,
goodness.
What? And so, I mean, and to me, I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, I'll never beg anyone to
hands and knees.
Never,
as you shouldn't.
Never.
But I'm like, fine, okay, go. I mean, it like hurt, but I was like, okay, that's that.
I saw this amazing thing online the other day of how to react to a breakup.
Yeah.
And if someone's like, hey, I've been thinking, and I think, like, I don't want to continue this, or, like, I don't feel like I could be committed to you anymore, or don't want to be in this relationship anymore, and the person was like, okay, and they're like, what, you're not gonna, like, fight for me, or you're not gonna like try to ask why? And it's like, well, if you don't want to be with me,
why would I want to?
Why would I want to try to make that work when, like, you've already kind of checked out of this?
People get so tight about that.
Yeah.
When they've made that decision and you've allowed them to.
Yeah.
Then they begin to make you a weird villain of sorts and try to make it seem like you forced their hand, because they can't go on knowing that it was their choice when they feel sad about the breakup.
Right.
But it was your choice.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, but I've been in so many breakups where the person who broke up with me is trying to play this victim who needs to be, consoled. And I just have to look at them and say, I can't console you because I'm dealing with my own grief, and I know this is probably hard for you, but it's the decision that you made, and I won't.
You've had time to come to terms with that.
Yeah, you have time to come, and it weirdly makes it easier for me to move on because that's outside of me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You've made that decision. I will swallow that and deal with that how I will, but if you've made that decision, I don't ever want to be in a relationship with someone who does not,
even
who isn't,
guessing,
who isn't 100%.
Absolutely, because there's no reason to. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it hits something. It hits your ego, obviously,
for sure.
Because you're like, what's wrong with me?
Of course.
So, but it definitely opened up, like, reflection-wise, just like, hey, why am I feeling this way? It hurt for a couple months, but I'm now kind of sensing that wasn't just a regular, like, you kind of go over a breakup and you kind of move on, but now I'm like, gosh, damn, this is now hitting me now that I'm dating again. Like, I went on this other date, and it's been going great.
Good.
And we, like, went on 3 dates, and I told my friend yesterday, and I was like, if you get me on that third date,
It's all over.
You don't understand. If we're literally on a third date, something must be happening, right? This can't be like just
right, because like the first date happens and then you're like, well, maybe we'll see what the second date seems like.
Right.
To like really get a feel for someone.
Yeah.
But a third date at that point,
if you get me on that third date, now I'm gonna be like, okay, something's up here. I do want to get to know you more. And I'm not just saying like I'm in. I'm more like I still want to get to know that person. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, now I'm you've got my attention. Like I'm gonna try to.
You've bought the ring already. You know,
right. And as a lesbian, fine, get it. But like literally, I try not to do that. But I'm like, yeah, the third date, I'm like, okay, what's happening? And or not what's happening, but just like you've got my attention.
Yeah.
And she right now she's kind of doing this thing, like I'm getting this feeling of like she's doing a little bit of a pull away, like a pulling away thing, and it might not be a pulling away thing, it's just she might be, you know, it might be a bunch of things, but because I've experienced it, immediately I'm like, ooh, okay, hands up, I'm done, don't hurt me, right? But it's like that's what happens, you know, you deal with that and then you're like you have the next relationship and you're like scared.
Things definitely like flow over to your other relationships.
Which is like, ooh, okay. Now that's something but when you get triggered, it essentially just is like, okay, something's wrong here, and you need to pay attention.
You also start like looking, like
kind
of
hey,
picking
why
apart
are you
little
feeling
things.
that way? Like, why are you getting anxiety over this?
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think that's a negative. It's kind of like if you're skateboarding or snowboarding and something causes you to fall. Yeah. So your next time down, you're looking out for that thing. Right. And there's an element of fear there. Yeah. Because you don't want it to happen again. Mm-hmm. But knowing what caused it is making it stand out to you more. Right. So there is an element of you, there's some truth to your feelings about that. And you can choose to either wait to see if it intensifies or have a dialogue about that and move forward. And that's pretty much how you learn while you date, right? Because that's just part of it, right?
Yeah. No, it's just that, and so now I'm kind of like, instead of trying to overthink it, because I think that's the thing I do, is like the overthinking. Hey,
I mean, who doesn't?
Right. Yeah. I mean, but also we're both Cancers, but anyways, we're gonna overthink it.
You're almost a Leo.
I am almost a Leo.
You're like a cusp, right?
I am on the cusp.
I feel betrayed.
Hey, I'm still here, still on that, but like, yeah, it's just like, it definitely is like just a learning curve, and it's been kind of like, it's fine. But I sense it and I see it and I'm like, I just have to now let God take the wheel. Or Hinge. I am not doing it. I'm never doing dating apps again. Absolutely.
So how do you meet people typically?
Just go out, and I mean, I think I think for me it's gonna have to be like through mutuals and stuff. Yeah. Like, the dating app thing is not happening.
Oh, when I was single, the dating apps were it was like a job interview.
It's too stressful.
It was like setting up appointments and then going on an interview where you would essentially regurgitate the same information to people over and over again.
That's, I think, what makes dating apps so hard nowadays, is because you're getting a lot of information without context, right? Where, like, for example, I'm trying to think of something like in the middle ground that isn't like a crimson flag, but maybe a pink flag, but
a lightish red flag.
A lightish red.
Say, you know, someone, you know, says they like a thing that you just kind of have a idea, like, I guess, like, hold the phone, don't hang up on me. Say, you know, someone is like, I'm a Rick and Morty fan, right? And that's gonna give you a idea of what this person is like, right? Yeah. But they're like, you know, I'm a Rick and Morty fan, and I'm not jumping on McDonald's tables for Szechuan sauce. So there's this element where you haven't got to meet them and really do a very physical vibe check. That you're going based off information. If something's an ick for you, that if you kind of got to know them, really wouldn't be that much of an ick, or is like your thing. It already allows you to like make a knock against them. So because you're just reading it on paper. And I think, and everyone's standards, I believe, can be so much higher on dating apps because you have so much choice.
You have like a menu in front of you, essentially.
I heard like with dating apps, and maybe this is, I don't know necessarily if it's true, but there is a thing of where I guess like there's a good amount of people that kind of go on the dating apps and aren't really necessarily trying to date and are really and it's kind of a form of validation in some way.
Absolutely.
So it feels like you can't really, it's tough to make something genuine out of it. I mean, there's obviously people who do.
Yeah.
But it seems like sometimes it's like not the right way to do it.
Well,
but
I feel like
versus meeting someone
organically with friends, and like you're out, you're already like, hey, you're at the same bar as me. That means we might be on that same wavelength of like.
I remember there was that thing going viral about this dating app that only lets you match with one person at a time, and if you wanted to unmatch, you had to give a reason, and everybody was real mad about it. And I get the gripe about giving a reason, but there were so many people who was like, why would I want to talk to one person at a time? And I was like, I think that's the issue
here. That's the literal issue,
because it's your kerfluffed that you have to be intentional about who you're choosing to talk to, and you only want to have a slate of people that you can bounce between, which I don't think you can. If one person is dating people by meeting them organically and doing it one person at a time, they're dating with intention. They're trying to find the connection. They're trying to do it. But if you have someone who's going on a date, they got 4 or 5 different people they can go on a date with. They probably have like 2 or 3 other dates planned. You're just kind of almost auditioning people like it's The Voice.
Pretty much.
Are like, what about you is going to excite me and make me want to keep doing this? Because you're not going into it with intention. You have all these other
and
plans.
that's another thing where I'm like, I have a tough time being okay with like the kind of like if I'm seeing someone and they, it's okay if they're also out dating. Like I to me, I'm like, okay, fine, we're getting to know each other.
Right.
I don't know.
It's not like you're immediately exclusive.
Right, exactly. And I don't need that, but I'm just kind of like, again, if we're on a certain amount of dates and you're still going around dating people,
especially like at the same rate.
At the same rate, and I don't really know, and I'm like, I think there's something in me that's like, I'm scared that you might just
or
up
if you're
and
like,
leave.
hey, let's maybe be exclusive, and then that scares them.
That scares them because it's way too fast,
Yeah.
and like I agree, that is too fast. I still need to know if I even want to be with you in that way, but it's just like the having multiple. And that's just something I can't do. I wish I guess I wish I could have that mentality, but like I literally can't date multiple people.
I feel like there has to be a middle ground,
right?
Because obviously I'm someone who can date multiple people as the poly guy at the table, but there is, like, to me, it all comes down to intentionality. Like, if you are dating me and a bunch of like other folks, but you're doing so with intention because you're actually trying to make connections, then I'm not really bugged, because I like the idea that like by the time you're like, okay, let's be exclusive, you've seen all there is to offer, you've made your decision, versus like someone going all in, only talking to you from the jump,
right?
And you've kind of been the only option, and then the moment something comes that like seems a little more exciting, or something that seems like there's a little bit more compatibility, you're able to second guess, because then you think back and you're like, well, I only was dating him, and I didn't see what else is out there.
So it's definitely like the intention of it, because if you're kind of, because I think it's like if you're dating a bunch of people because you don't actually know what you want, then that I'm like, I don't understand, because I'm like, you how are you dating because you don't even know what you want? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So because like you're not gonna how are you gonna find it?
Yeah, I'm doing the scene from The Notebook right now.
Like, what do you want? Like, what is it? Or like when people are like, or people are like, I don't know, I'm just seeing what happens. Like,
I mean, to be fair, when you are younger and learning about yourself and learning what you do like, what you don't like, like that is date around, like do that, have relationships, date, have flings, have one night stands, like do it all, get to know what you want, but also be upfront about it.
You have to be honest with the other person, but also really yourself. Like, what is it like that you want? Because at the end of the day, it's like, you might hurt someone else, but you're just gonna also put yourself in such bad situations if you can't really be honest with yourself and be like, I actually don't really know what I want.
Right.
Or know yourself. in that way.
Something that I wanted to talk about today too. We have a question submitted by a viewer, which, by the way, if you guys have questions for us on the show, you could email us at alwaysopen@roosterteeth.com. Email us questions to talk about on the show and hopefully give you some advice or guidance of some sort. Both of you are so incredibly confident, at least outwardly.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
But I feel like both of you know who you are, very much so, and like have really honed in on who you are, who you want to be, what you're about, and everything like that. And I think a lot of people, especially people who write into the show, have trouble with confidence and figuring that out. So I would love to read this question and get some thoughts from you guys. So this writes, I'm a bi woman in my 30s. I'm incredibly flat-chested. My boobs have been the same size, tiny, since 5th grade. I have the flattest chest of any adult woman I know. The internet and media in general reminds me daily that both straight dudes and girls who like girls love big titties. I love saying that.
Yeah.
Big titties. But I can't muster a shadow of cleavage, even with the most padded of push-up bras. I love my man. We've been together for over 10 years, and I know he loves me. But I know he loves big boobs too, and sometimes I feel like he'd be happier with someone who looks more like his preference. I've considered getting a boob job, but it's expensive, and some of the potential side effects are absolutely awful. I'd much rather get into a better headspace, but that's tough when it feels like everyone is glorifying big chests all the time. Sometimes I see people say things like, but supermodels have small boobs. But like 99% of human women, I absolutely do not have the body of a supermodel, so that just makes me feel even less attractive. Do you have any advice for a girl who just wants to feel sexy in her own skin, despite being pretty much the opposite of what society seems to want?
I think mainly just to get at the boob job thing.
Yeah.
I think you have to do that for yourself. Do not do that for anyone else.
100%.
Like, because that's something, if that doesn't even make you feel comfortable, you're never going to get confident.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my other point is I think the confidence is being comfortable and okay with who you are and what you bring to the table and everything. I think that definitely helps your confidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think also, it seems like, because we got these questions earlier and I was thinking about it, and I've had partners with, no boobs. I had partners with big boobs. I've had partners with small butts, big butts, and it's never been an issue,
right.
And I think a lot of times, and something that I think I have felt dating, a lot of women, is the insecurities will scream and sound louder because, just because it's something that you see and it's something that we may never even be talking about. So, for example, it can be a situation where maybe her partner saw someone on TV and was like, oh, that person's attractive. And that person also happens to have big boobs. And that's not the reason he said it, but because in the back of your head, you're like, oh, I don't have big boobs. That's the issue.
It's kind of the confirmation bias.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything will kind of relate to the thing you're feeling most insecure about.
Exactly. But to kind of answer the question and to find confidence, I think there are a lot of great fashion looks that complement women with no boobs, small boobs. The partner that I'm referencing would take advantage of that. A lot of very close to the chest, deep V type things that just wouldn't fit. And I think that will kind of help because, there's all this talk about you must love yourself and you must do this. And it you can't just flip the script on it, right? It's something you have to be active about.
Yeah.
So lots of times the biggest thing you can do is try and shake up your wardrobe, your style, and wear something that makes you feel sexy. Everyone has a fit in their closet for the most part that they know when they put it on, they feel bulletproof, they feel untouchable. And I think finding that outfit for you will be a big help.
I think wardrobe wise, for sure. I like when you read the question, it seems like she's worried about her partner.
That seemed to be a big part of it. Someone who she's been with for over 10 years, which at that point, I feel like.
I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I'm thinking
I don't think that's the thing,
and I also don't think that's a priority.
Yeah.
But I understand the fear, like, because that's
Totally
an insecurity of yours, and you're worried that might be a deal breaker. Hasn't been for 10 years.
especially when it comes to sexual attraction,
Right.
Yeah.
especially in a long-term relationship when you might not be as sexually active as you were at the beginning. You might feel like, oh, well, maybe it's because my partner is interested in people who look like that, or
Right.
Yes.
because I don't have this and that. But intimacy and love is so much deeper than that. And
Yeah.
I mean, she says that she knows he loves her.
Yeah.
But again, like you guys said, if you want to get a boob job, get a boob job.
Yeah,
if that's
get
going to
it.
make
If
you
that-
happy.
And I think that goes into the confidence. If that's going to be the thing
Yeah.
that really helps you be confident, then I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, do it.
If
Yeah.
it's for you, do it.
Yes.
It's definitely expensive, but like, sure. The thing is, it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care for people who are like, just love yourself, just love yourself. You
Yeah.
can't flip the script like that.
Yeah.
You have to work on it. It needs to be a process. Start with the clothes, start with what you're wearing, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that's really where confidence comes from, is just feeling comfortable being authentically like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the only way you can genuinely be confident, because there's a bunch of people who look confident and
Are definitely not.
Yeah.
and are
Yeah.
definitely not, right, because they have
yeah.
their own insecurities.
And also, I think something that's such a special part about the human experience is that we're all so different. We look different. We think differently. We like different things. And so trying to fit into this mold of what you think society wants or what you think your partner wants, if it's something that's not what you want, that's not something you should be focusing on.
No,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be unhappy.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think that's the thing, that's like, you don't want to be unhappy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys. I think that
Thank-
was a great
Of
question.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then we'll wrap it up with a quick question. It's a little more general. We kind of touched on these things.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for being more confident with myself in general? I've always been so insecure and I always stay quiet because I don't want people to think I'm a fool or dumb or something of that nature.
That's something I've been going through in my dating life, is like, I truly, and this was one of my resolutions, was like, I'm coming into the year very authentically myself, because at the end of the day, if I'm not myself and I pretend to be someone, I'm attracting the wrong people who will
Oh, that's so
like
good.
me. But I think that's the whole thing of, you've just got to be yourself, and you have to be, if you're a goofy person, you got to be goofy. Like, that's what I was like. I was like, hey, listen, this is who I am. I know I look a certain way, but I'm stupid. Like, I'm goofy. Like, that's
Yeah.
just who I am. And I can't like hide that part of me. So if I am just myself, then I'm going to attract the right people.
People
who
wanna
like,
be
who
with
like
the
that.
goofy
And
version of
then I
you.
can be myself. And that's where, again, like, that confidence, feeling comfortable being yourself, feeling validated that yourself is enough, it's good.
Oh yeah, I think it's very important to really look inward instead of outward for that confidence, right? Like, what to do the things that, like I said, to reiterate, make you feel hot, because at the end of the day, that's like 90% of like a lot of times what helps people pull off looks.
Yeah.
There's so many times where you'll see somebody wearing something and you're like, what? But then if they exude that confidence, you don't question it. You're like, well, that's their style, that's their fit. And 9 times out of 10, who gives a shit what people think? It's very easy to get, like, I used to be really like worried about like how I'm perceived and how I look, and especially being in media, in front of media. And I found the most success for my confidence and my career in just being me, because when you try and exude what you think people will like, it'll be very general, it'll feel inauthentic, and you won't be happy, and it's a lot of work. But when you choose, like Fiona said, when you choose to just be who you are, you're going to attract those people. So dress how you want to dress. Like, really think about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most our lives, when we're just in that schooling age, we spend so much time trying to like fit in, assimilate, do what we think will please our peers. And in adulthood, I think it's time to just throw that all away.
Yeah.
I think just try big looks. I mean, we exist in so many liminal spaces where you're going to see people that you're never going to see again.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's like, you don't have to worry. You know,
Yeah.
you can just, even if some idiot is like, what? You know, you're never going to see that dork again. And that dork is just scared because they would like to, you know, do something like
Or
that.
they're thinking what everyone else is thinking.
Yeah.
Everyone is always thinking about what other people are
yeah.
thinking. So when you think, oh, this person's looking at me, or
Yeah,
these
yeah.
people are going to be judging me,
Yeah.
everyone else is worrying about
And
that
I don't
at the
know,
same time.
is that question mainly for, because I think there is this other conversation of like, you know, confidence isn't just physical. It's like,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
like you can be confident in, like, for example, like I'm very confident in like my grind ethic. I know that if I want something, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
In terms of like career and all of that. That I'm confident in. I will not doubt myself in that.
Yeah.
But I'll doubt myself in like friendships, or, you know,
Yeah.
something that involves someone else. So I'm like, if you can kind of figure out what you need to work on, whether it be physical or even just anything, like I think confidence is like you don't have to be confident in every single thing, and you can kind of work in parts.
Yeah, and it definitely takes practice because it does take some kind of affirmation to feel confident. You know, like, you know, when I first started writing, you know, I wasn't confident as a writer because, you know, it was my first gig. You have that imposter syndrome. But then after doing it for almost like 5-6 years, and you've come in and you've, you know, been, you know, people have told you you're good at what you do, then you start to gain that confidence, and you can walk into a room and be like, I know what I'm doing because I have the resume for it. And I think the same thing goes for, like, you're not going to know what does and doesn't work until you try it, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom. Well, thank you guys both so much, both for your insight and also for being on Always Open.
Oh, thanks
It's
for
a
having
pleasure.
us. Seriously.
For those not familiar with you guys, where can people find you? Fiona?
On these streets. No, I'm joking.
Hustling.
Hustling. No, you can find me on Twitter, Fiona Nova, and then Instagram, Fiona Nova. And I have a short film coming out soon, so if you want to keep in touch with that, Kickstarter.
Is there a title?
It is called Je t'aime Julie, which means I love you, Julie, and it's about a bisexual swordswoman in the 17th century.
You're so cool. You're so cool.
And also, I went dirt biking.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that I think
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fiona's so cool.
Yeah, if you Nwadiwe on Twitter and Instagram, same thing. Stay tuned there to see what I'm up to. I usually am loud about it.
Yep.
You
and
are loud.
If you survive that cruise,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
have some
If
stuff.
I made
Bro,
it
I
through the
hope
cruise,
that cruise goes well.
yeah, never know.
Awesome. And if you are watching, make sure you subscribe to the All Good No Worries channel, where you could watch episodes of Always Open every single week, in addition to plenty of other shows we have coming out for you guys every single month. So subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on social media. All Good No Worries. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that episode of Always Open. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and see new episodes every Tuesday, along with other shows every Thursday.